The global landscape is shifting, and with it the dynamics between developed nations and the African continent. For years the narrative has been dominated by aid, with African nations often portrayed as recipients of Western generosity. However, this narrative is being challenged. Vice Admiral Issa Adam Yakubu, former Chief of Staff of Ghana's Navy, argues that Africa has become caught in a cycle of dependency. He terms this phenomenon acquired aid addiction syndrome. Yakubu's critique of aid dependency stems from his belief that it fosters a culture of reliance and hinders true economic growth. He posits that aid, while often well-intentioned, can create a system where African nations become beholden to the whims of donor countries. This, he argues, undermines the development of sustainable and self-sufficient economies across the continent. Instead of perpetuating this cycle, Yakubu advocates for a paradigm shift. He envisions a future where Africa is no longer defined by its need for aid, but by its capacity for trade and partnership. This vision, however, requires a fundamental change in how the world interacts with Africa. It demands a move away from paternalistic approaches to development and towards a more equitable and mutually beneficial relationship. Central to Vice Admiral Yakubu's vision is the concept of trade, not aid. He believes that fair and open trade is the key to unlocking Africa's vast economic potential. By fostering an environment where African nations can participate in the global marketplace on a level playing field, Yakubu argues that we can unleash a wave of sustainable and inclusive growth. This emphasis on trade stems from the understanding that true prosperity comes from within. Aid, while providing a temporary buffer, cannot substitute for the long-term benefits of a thriving economy. Trade, on the other hand, empowers African nations to become self-reliant, creating jobs, generating wealth, and driving innovation. The call for increased trade does not negate the importance of international cooperation, rather, it redefines it. Platforms like the Milken Institute Conference, a gathering of global leaders in business, philanthropy, and government, provide a space for fostering the kind of partnerships that can drive Africa's growth. These are not, however, partnerships built on aid dependency. At the Milken Institute Conference, the emphasis was on connecting African entrepreneurs and innovators with potential investors and partners. These connections are essential for facilitating knowledge sharing, technology transfer, and access to capital, crucial ingredients for building sustainable businesses and driving economic growth. The global trade landscape is in constant flux. The policies of major economies, particularly those of the United States, have a profound impact on African nations. While the Trump administration's focus on trade deals and tariffs presents both challenges and opportunities, African investors are keenly aware of the need to navigate this evolving terrain strategically. Some experts, like Chidi Blyden of Culturally Bound, remain optimistic. They point to the resilience and entrepreneurial spirit of the African people as reasons for continued investment in the continent's talent and resources. Others, like Comfort Iro of the International Crisis Group, offer a more cautious perspective. They caution that economic deals alone cannot resolve the complex political and social challenges facing some African nations. The path forward for African nations in this era of global uncertainty lies in embracing a multi-pronged approach. This includes advocating for fairer trade practices, fostering domestic innovation and entrepreneurship, and building strategic partnerships that promote sustainable and inclusive growth. While challenges undoubtedly lie ahead, the prevailing sentiment among many African investors is one of cautious optimism, a belief that the continent's future remains bright.